Hello?
Today, we're going to carry on where we left off from last time. So, we have a big day of reveals. So, we're going to
Big deal of wheels?
reveals. We're going to sand the epoxy off of this and reveal the inlay and see if it looks any good. We're going to chop off the inlay. This is for the ukulele head. I keep calling the ukulele guitar. I don't know why. But for the ukulele head, we're going to reveal the inlay and see if that works. And we're going to take off all the tape and scrape off the top of the binding and see if that worked.
It's because before you started making these ukuleles, you made a shitload of guitars.
Yes, quite a lot of guitars. Which would you like to do first?
I would like to just watch what you do and learn, like I always do.
Well, I want to do this first because I've been waiting for this epoxy to cure.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
And what's happened is while it's curing, you can see it's curved, it's bent a little bit.
Yeah.
So to run it through the sander, I'm going to use some double-sided tape and stick it to a nice flat piece of wood. So let me find a nice flat piece of wood. Okay, so this is double-sided tape. Lots of people make their own double-sided tape, so I'm going to tape this onto here to get it nice and flat to go through the sander. Because I have to be pretty precise about how I sand that off. Obviously, this is only like 2.5 millimeters thick.
And that tape is obviously strong enough to just like hold it down.
Oh yeah. But a lot of people, they'll put like masking tape on this side and then masking tape on this side and then use CA glue to stick them together and go, look how clever I am. But all they're doing is spending more than the cost of double-sided tape to make their own homemade double-sided tape.
Right.
I don't see the rationale because this stuff isn't that expensive.
Yeah.
But I do want to get really excellent adhesion, so I'm going to
use a lot of tape. And make sure that it's not overlapped.
That's right. It's worth it to use the tape that you need and not skimp on the tape.
Well, I mean, the bottom line...
I have learned this the hard way.
Nick, the bottom line for that is it's not worth cutting corners, and you might as well just use the tools, the right tools all the time.
Yeah. Well,
and that's generally speaking with anything, you know?
That's true. And the thing is, the stakes are high with this piece. Really high.
Yeah.
Because this is the only piece that matches up with the neck.
Yeah.
Because it's cut out of the exact same piece of wood, so the grain matches.
Exactly. Yeah, we emphasized that in the last episode.
And it's been carefully cut out and carefully engraved, and then filled with epoxy. So it's high stakes. So we want to make sure that we don't cut corners at this stage because there's a lot to lose. Now, is it a disaster if we destroy this and have to do it again? No. It's just that the grain won't match. And this is a design feature. I want the grain to match.
Yeah.
And there was considerable waste in doing that.
Right.
So,
and the wood was fairly expensive.
The wood was expensive. A lot of waste to get this to match up with the neck. So yeah, the stakes are high. And when the stakes are high, why cut corners? Like,
dust it off first.
Dust this off?
Yeah. That's what I do. That's nice.
That's a nice and flat.
Yeah. And it did curve like that because of the moisture escaping from it as it cured.
Well, I'm not sure that there was a lot of moisture in it. Definitely there's a difference in the expansion of the epoxy versus the wood with temperature. So probably the temperature was a little different when I poured the epoxy to what it is now. And that temper differential just made the epoxy expand a little more and curved a little bit along the grain. It's not a big deal. It's, you know.
And things like that.
Yeah, these things happen, and it's no big deal because it's going to be glued into this slot for William's guitar, or ukulele, not guitar. Keep saying that. Yeah, so let's go over to the let's go over to the sander and try not to wreck this. So I'm going to start too high and then work my way down. I'm going to go. Now we have to carefully pry this off without wrecking it.
Because it's super thin and fragile.
It's thin and fragile. Yeah.
This is when we're sweating.
Schwitz.
Well, before we were sweating a bit.
I'm schwitzing. Don't schwitz the small stuff. Isn't that what they say? Okay, we got more sweating to do with this piece. So now we have to flip it over and sand the other side. So the terror is not over.
Because you got to get all that shit off the back there. Look at that.
Well, I've got to thin it.
Look at how that's going to look.
Yep, that's how it's going to look. But you can see that it's too thick, right? And we can see that it sticks up a little bit. But if we sand the top off, we're going to go deep into the inlay. So the way to make it thinner is to sand a little bit off the back.
Yep. And that's probably something you learned the hard way. We laughed nervously.
Laugh nervously and change the subject.
So, in other words, yeah.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
Now I want to see how much to take off the back. So use my nice, can't even remember the name of this tool. It's left my mind. It's too early in the morning. It's a caliper.
Yeah, I knew that.
I cannot remember the word caliper. So.
Okay. I make up my own names for my tools.
1.26 millimeters over. So I want to take about 1 millimeter off and just do the last bit with sanding. This is currently 2.24, so I want it to be about 1.25 millimeters.
Take off it.
Yeah.
And it's the same all the way around.
Pretty much the same, yeah. About 2.25-ish. Okay, so I need fresh double-sided tape. Do not reuse your double-sided tape.
Yeah.
No matter how cheap you are.
I'm cheap.
Because now that the front has worked, the stakes are even higher.
Mm-hmm.
This is a delicate piece. We do not want to hoop it up.
You don't want to up it.
Try not to say that. in case Tim gets offended.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't want to offend Tim
No, neither would I.
with the F word. Tim.
You're not putting those on straight.
I am.
Really?
Did you hear it was Bruce's 55th wedding anniversary yesterday?
Yes.
Holy crap. 51 years. That's got to make Bruce at least 60.
Yeah. Well, they were like childhood sweethearts.
Yes. This is the easiest way I've found to take the backing off double-sided tape.
And then when you put that down, you're not going to damage our beautiful inlay, which you're going to dust off before you put on there.
I'm not going to damage it? No, this is casting epoxy, man.
Yeah. But you're not gonna, it's not gonna get residue or anything like that.
Oh, it might get a little bit of residue. It's not a problem, though. I have xylene.
Right.
And sanding paper.
Right.
And we're not
and we've
sanding
tried
it
that
down
before.
so it'll be flush. We're sanding it down so it'll be 1/4 of a millimeter proud, so then we'll sand the last bit off.
Yeah.
Okay.
After you glue it in.
After we glue it in. Where'd my caliper go? Did I put it away? No, it's right in front of my face. Okay. Correct. On this side, we're going to stop. You can start seeing the inlay coming through the back, so we're going to stop there. Okay, now this is really nerve-wracking because now it's a millimeter thinner, so now it's really vulnerable to cracking.
See, maybe you should have a shot of whiskey before you do this.
Maybe I should have a shot of whiskey before I do this. What's the best way to go? Is always with the grain.
Or gin.
Shot of courage. Yeah, it's bending. So there might be a better way. So xylene is a solvent, and it's really good for like sticky things like this, and it should dissolve the adhesive.
But it won't dissolve anything else.
It won't dissolve the acrylic or the wood. It's not that kind of solvent. I don't want to get too much on there. Here, let me just put this lid on because it's stinky. Pretty stinky stuff. I am like my father and keep all kinds of weird shit in my shop. Just in case I need it 80 years from now.
Right.
So also this stuff evaporates well. So, you know, it's going to soak into the wood a bit, but it will also evaporate right out.
It smells good.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Terrible smell. All right. Come on, get under there.
Maybe you should give it a bit of time to penetrate.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that.
But if you go under the tape, that would be better anyway, because then you don't, for sure wouldn't damage it.
Yeah.
The tape would protect it.
Yeah. You can see it's getting all slippery. I can feel it dissolving the bond already. See what it's doing to the tape?
Yeah.
So there's going to be residue for sure from this solvent, but that's okay. I hope.
Pray.
Well, hopefully I didn't just destroy the piece.
Now, so folks, this is where you destroy it.
This is where you destroy it, yeah. The trick is patience, not rush it. Take your time, and that gives you a much greater likelihood of success. Yeah, I can already feel it releasing. See how it's coming off like that?
Yeah.
Just take the time. Think about what you're going to have for lunch.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes for lunch. Homemade tomatoes.
Yeah, I still got a bunch in my fridge. I should have brought some over for you. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stew them up. They're covering, my tomatoes are covering one entire shelf in my fridge. Goes to show you how much food I got in my fridge, eh?
You had a bounty. You had a tomato bounty. A bounty of tomatoes.
Yes.
A good harvest, as it were.
A plethora.
Only one plethora?
One plethora. Not multiple plethoras.
I had a plethora of cherry tomatoes. It was crazy. There we go. That's coming off.
There we go. There we go. That's a good little wood thing.
Well, we don't know if it's ruined yet or not. We'll find out shortly.
If it is, we're going to go to Vancouver Island again.
No, we actually have more of this log. Remember that big piece of
And then
ship's
chocolate.
deck that we bought?
Yeah. No.
That'll be fine. That's just the tape residue.
No, but it's still so delicate.
It's very delicate.
And then now we got to get that shit off there.
Now we gotta get that. Yeah, that's coming off. Okay, I was gonna glue this onto the soundboard today, but I'm not going to because it's got xylene in it.
Right, you want it to all be gone.
So yeah, I'm gonna let it. I need to clean my hands off of this stuff too. There it is. So I cleaned all there's a bunch of residue. I'm not sure I should have used the xylene. Maybe I should have just taken the time just to peel it off the tape. But I got all the residue off. It's no problem. I'm just gonna let it dry out for a day or two to make sure it all evaporates out before I glue it into place in there. So,
Yo.
So the big stress is over. This works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, you know, everything you do to this ukulele,
Not guitar.
not guitar, still raises the
The stakes.
the stakes.
Yeah. The next thing is this. So last time we glued together this inlay, and we're going to slice the top off and see if it actually worked well. come on over here. Safety.
Safety. Yay!
Okay, so this goes through the sander now.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Now that this worked, this is much too thick to be laminate for the front of the ukulele
Yes,
head.
look at how thick that is.
Yeah, look at how thick it is. So
That's Fred Flintstone thick.
we're gonna slice it in half. This will be the front, this will be the back, and then we're gonna sand this down to be like 1.5 millimeters
Right.
thick.
Are you going to use when you slice it in half, are you going to use the back of it for something?
Yeah, the back will go on the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll
Yeah.
the grain will match front
Yeah.
and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody planned that.
That's it. Yeah, see.
Okay, and then the last thing we have to do today, if we have time, is take the tape off of here and then scrape down this binding.
Okay. One time they said, "What is this? What kind of meat is this?" And I went, "Horse."
There we go.
And they all laughed.
You see there's a little gap here. That's totally fine because the neck is going to cover that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we got to take down this. I'm going to start just a little kiss on the belt sander. That's close enough to the soundboard. I don't want to get any closer to the soundboard with the big belt sander because it can really take a lot off. But that's pretty cool, yeah?
You know these the diagonal pattern here?
Yeah.
It's very Spanish.
Yeah.
I really see like ding 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 ding.
Yeah, cool,
Ding, 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 ding.
That's the first time I made a binding like that. That looks really good. Really nice and tight too. That's the best binding I've ever done so far.
It is beautiful.
Okay, so let's talk about next time.
Beautiful and perfect.
So next time, I guess next time we're gonna glue this in to this soundboard.
Yeah.
But this soundboard also needs a rosette, so we need to do one in this theme.
Yeah.
And we also need to put in the purfling and binding in the back. So I might put the purfling and binding in the back while you're away because people have already seen how to do that. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And once the binding is in there, the basic construction of the body is done, except we need a slot for the neck. Then it's done, then moving on to the neck.
Yeah, I can't wait.
For the neck, we need to first carve the neck shape, and then we need to put this on the front and back of the head, and then put them together. And put the fretboard on.
Yeah.
So this is the fretboard that's gonna go
Yeah,
on. This is actually fretboard's gonna go on here, so I actually need to cut another fretboard for the other ukulele.
Yeah.
This one will actually go, it'll go about like that. Yeah, cool.
Ja,
I got nothing else for you today.
das ist gut.
Gotta get to work.
Okay,
See you later.
bye.
Bye.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do.